Hi there, and today I'm opening up a new vintage Lego set. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you might have seen the two that I did on my vintage Lego set collection. All these ones with black ends are from 1958, and the four over here are from 1963, and I'll put links to those two videos down in the comments below and probably up here as well. But recently I just got another one, so I thought I'd do a video opening it up and having a look at it today. So those of you unfamiliar with these sorts of sets, the picture on the outside was completely generic, so this box was put on many other sets, and in fact I've got another one of this slipcase, but in a much better condition. You can see with the people on the front. Pretty much it was always children playing with Lego or playing with Lego with an adult as well. But what told you what was in the set was the end of the set, and you can see this is set 245. Now this is also one of the 1958 sets, and set 245 came with a whopping 3 pieces in it. So we'll open it up, and here we have a lighting kit. Now most people are probably familiar with the modern power functions lighting kits, where you attach a set of lights to a battery box and press the button and they come on. Fewer people are probably familiar with the previous 9-volt system, where you had a battery box with a 9-volt battery in it. Then you would connect a cable up to that and connect a light to the end of the cable, and hopefully if you press the button, the lights light up. And this is the system I used for my train level crossing lights, which I'll also link to in the video, and the links below and above. But before we had 9-volt, we had 4.5-volt. Now this set, as I said earlier, only had 3 pieces in it, and the important one is this, which is a regular 2x4 brick in size. However, it's got these 2 metal sort of holes on the side of the brick, which go through to these 2 metal plates, and inside that is a 4.5-volt light bulb, and that is the old-fashioned filament type bulb. It's not a modern LED like we have nowadays, and this is how you would light your models in the 1950s and 60s. Now, just with the modern systems, you also needed a battery box. Now, I don't have one of the original 50s, 60s and 70s battery boxes, but they look like this, and they were rectangular. They held 3 large batteries inside them, and it had a switch at one end which you could move to the left and to the right. So center was off one way, left was one way, and right was the other way. So for a motor you could do forward and reverse. However, I do have one of the 1980s equivalent battery boxes, and this holds 3 batteries running down its length, and it has its switch on the end of it. Now the good thing about this is actually the switch was a separate component, so this was a battery box you could plug straight into for constant power. However, you could put this switch in the end of it, and that meant you could have it off or one way or the other way. So I am hoping the seller that I bought this from showed me a video of it working, so I am hoping that in transit nothing has happened and this still works. So these are very fragile little cables. You can see there's a little metal pin on the end with a plastic connector, and I have taken one of these apart in previous years, and I know that that wire just goes off to the bare sort of metal end, and then this red plastic clip screws on and wraps that wire around the end of this pin. So what we're going to do, we'll put the 2 pins into the light brick like that, and put the other 2 pins in the end of the battery box. And then with any luck, when I turn this switch, fingers crossed, yes, look at that. So it's a very faint glow compared to your modern standards, but you can see that filament is glowing away there. I have no idea if I'd ever be able to find replacement ones of these filament bulbs, so you wouldn't be able to find them new. I imagine you could find this part on Bricklink. It may well have been used in other sets in the era. Oh, it seems to have gone off now. I think it might be the battery box rather than the light. Hang on. Yes, it's a dodgy 1980s switch, not a dodgy 1950s light bulb. So like I said, something's very, very dodgy here. So definitely not something you could buy new nowadays, especially with energy saving lamps and bulbs. This would not be energy saving in any way, a filament bulb. So if this ever goes, the only option is to find a replacement on Bricklink or somewhere else like that. But I have now got a nice little 4.5 volt lamp, which is a little bit flaky. There we go, to go with my collection. Now the tray of the box is actually in far better condition than the slipcase, which is good because this is obviously a lot rarer than this outer sleeve, and this set may well have come with many different sleeves. It wouldn't have just come with this one. It could have come in a variety of different sleeves. Like I said, I got the same slipcase on a box of 2x2 curved bricks at 224, and so that's exactly the same but in much better condition. So the tray shows you, as I said, the 3 items, so the light brick, the cables, and this white brick, which I'll just show you what that is as well. And that is also the same size as a regular 1x2 brick. However, it's got these little notches cut out of it. There's no center tube like you have nowadays in bricks. And all that was for was, if you had your 2 cables running from your battery box to whatever you were lighting up, you could use this brick to go over the top and pin the cables down like that. So they would be running along just through that little gap, and the brick would hold them down with clutch power onto whatever you were building. And here's an example of how that could work. So I've got my light brick sitting on a nice modern white 2x4, and then the 2 cables coming out and being clamped down by that 1x2 with a little groove. So there we have it, set 245. It's another little vintage addition to my collection. I'm really pleased I've got this one. It's quite rare compared to the regular bricks sets and things like the trees and other ones like that. I've never seen this for sale before, and so as soon as I saw it, I snapped it up. So glad to add it to my collection. Let me know in the comments below what you think, especially if you're a collector of vintage sets, or you've got any of these sets yourself, or would like to start collecting them. Also, if you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and of course please subscribe for more LEGO videos.